How you guys doing today? I'm Webtoon King, and today I'll be doing a Jujutsu Kaisen chapter review from 137 to 140. The reason I wanted to do it that way is because there's a couple important people who got introduced back to the story, and 137 is the beginning of the Yuji execution arc. So and also, I know I'm a webtoon channel, but I wanted to do one manga, and this is currently my favorite manga in Shonen Jump right now. So let's start off with chapter 137. So chapter 137, it basically started with a bunch of explanation about what happened in Shibuya arc. So the higher ups are just trying to decide between telling people if curses exist or not, and that's basically like almost 3 pages. It was just them discussing that. The very next scene, we just see a kid going through like a little, how do you say it? Like a, let's say, convenience store, just eating. You can see you know it's a curse, but I guess the kid confused the curse with a person. So the person is trying to trick her to come outside. Once she comes outside, the curse try to eat her right before she's about to eat her. My favorite character comes back into the story. Yuta jumps out. I don't even know where he jumps from. You just see him jump from the sky and just kills this beast. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this. He was my favorite. He's my favorite character in Jujutsu Kaisen, and that's only because of the prequel. So he saves her. He basically asks her if she hurt. He's basically trying to talk to her. They're trying to like get her spirits up. You know, like she almost got eaten by a curse. The curse is trying to eat Yuta. Yuta said Rika, and Rika's just like, I don't know, just make the curse disappear just like that. So I guess from this you can tell that Yuta still has Rika, and I'm trying to decide between him still having Rika or him having another curse, but he's just calling them Rika. Next scene, you just see a bunch of doors, and you can hear higher-ups. Well, we know it's the higher-ups saying good work, Kosu, and Yuta basically tells them that I know you don't really mean it. Basically, this gets to the chest. The hires basically say just because you kill a bunch of cursed spirits doesn't mean we can trust you. And Yuta's like, alright, do you want to do a bonding vow or something? Because I don't care if he's Master Gojo people. He cut off Inumaki arms in Shibuya. So it's basically referring to Yuji and what he did throughout Shibuya, and how Sukune took over and killed a bunch of people. So that's what he's referring to. And you can see on the next page is just say Yuta just saying, I would kill Yuji Itadori myself. And then the last couple of pages, well, not a couple, but you just see notice from the Jujutsu headquarters. Once Geto survival has been confirmed, and he has been sentenced to death again because people thought he was dead. Well, quote unquote, he is dead. 2. Satoru Gojo has been deemed an accomplice in the Shibuya incident, and basically he's exiled. And if anybody tries to get him out the prison realm, they're also considered criminals. Next one surprised me when I first read it because I was like, what the hell? What did he do? And then I had to reread it over and over because I was like, oh, okay. Masamochi Yaga is the principal for Yuji and them. Shall receive the death penalty for citing Satoru Gojo and Shiguro Geto and causing the Shibuya incident. So they're basically putting the blame on the principal because if think about it, in the military command, both of these guys are fall underneath him. Even though Gojo didn't really do anything bad, but quote unquote, that's the narrative they're going with. So if you're gonna pick someone to be the scapegoat, this is the perfect guy. He both had Gojo and Geto, and they're both considered criminals right now. So I guess this makes sense why they would try to get rid of him too. And the very last one, Yuji, basically his suspension from the kill order is lifted, so people can kill him now. And number 5 is just them saying Yuta is appointed Yuji executioner. Moving on to 138, I'm gonna speed this up. We get to meet a new, I like this character. He might be my favorite introduced character. I know a bunch of people don't like him, but so we're just finding out that Maki is in a dangerous state right now. She might die, but it's vague if she's gonna live or not. He walks in the room. Two guys one guy, Ogi, said, "You're late." So Ogi, you both have Ogi Zenin, which I believe is Maki and Mei, father or grandfather, I don't know. He's a special grade 1. Junichi Zenin, special grade 1. And character we get introduced in the first page is Naomi Zenin. And from the interaction, we can deduce that he's Nobito's son. So basically, they were asking him why is he so late. He was like, "It doesn't matter when I show up. I'm the next head, no matter what." He was just talking that shit, and that's why I like his character. I know people don't like him because very understandable. Don't get me wrong. People don't like how he talks down women and all that. And I'm just gonna say that I can. Me reading manga for so many years, it gets to a point where I know at some point Gege is gonna try to redeem him, and it's gonna be something wild. Like, think of Endeavor. Most people thought they would never forgive Endeavor, but now all the stuff is coming out and everybody's forgiving him. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Right now, I'm just gonna look at him as a pure fighter and see if I can mess with that, because I'm so used to these type of characters that they make it so easy to hate. And then eventually they redeem them somehow. So Naomi just basically shit talk his whole family, and he's like, none of them are worthy but me. And he basically tell Janisha that his face is not good, and if Toji took over, it'll be better. So he was basically, I don't know if that means they're related somehow, the brothers or whatever, but that obviously struck a nerve, because that's when Janisha tried to punch on Naomi, but he dodges. And this is interesting to me because I think I might be the only one who actually thinks about this, or who maybe I'm insane, but the way Toji's design and the way he dodged, oh my god, I can't speak. The way he the way he maneuver and fights and dodges people, it's interesting. And to me, he looked like another version of a Toji. So maybe Giga is like trying to do like if Toji was a sorcerer type of character, and I can see that, and I already like it because the way he dodged, I think I've seen Toji dodge like that before, so maybe. And after he dodged, Zenishi, Ogi pulls out his swords, and he basically said, "Why can't we get all along?" This dude with the weird ass hair walks in, and he basically announced that Nobito will pass away. The two older brothers look kind of concerned, but now he's smiling. And basically, this weird dude with the weird hair just basically said that he has permission to read the wheel now because all three of them are in the room. So I guess all three of them must be the most powerful in the clan, or maybe they have to be the most powerful. Or the most respected, but I would assume most powerful, because the Zeni clan is one of the only, I think it's the number one clan just on strength alone. So he starts reading off the wheel. Basically, Nioh Zeni is the next successor. He's gonna inherit everything, but the only thing is that Gojo, it has a rule in there that if Gojo gets killed or mentally encapsulate, if mentally he's not there or something stopping him from doing anything, making him would be invited to the clan and making him the next head. So he also mentioned that Toji has a agreement with Nobita. So maybe we get more about that flashback that we saw earlier in I can't remember what chapter it was, but we saw Toji talk to the leader of the Zenin clan. So maybe, and it makes sense now if you think about it, because at first when we were reading the inventory arc, we thought it gives him more of a motive why he went after Gojo. And though at the time, the only motive is that he wanted to prove that you don't have to be a sorcerer to be strong, which he did, and that is a good motive. But now we're getting more about this, and I kind of like when you do a reread, it kind of makes it more interesting, knowing that he went into the mindset that if I kill him, my son will be the leader. That's pretty interesting. Basically, Nioh is obviously like shocked because he's like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" Like, he just came out of nowhere. So of course he'd be pissed. So that's not surprising. And he basically he already acknowledged that both of his uncles would probably not pick him out of spite because they don't like him. So they'd rather pick like a random kid over him. And even if he's not, even though he's not strong or even close, I don't think Megumi is close to him. No, I know a lot of people think that, but I don't think he's there yet. I think like 1 or 2 arcs, then he get there. So he basically he walks out the door. Nioh asks his maid. He was basically like, "Where is Fujigoro?" And she was like, "He's looking for Sukuna Vessel." He's like, "Where is Sukuna Vessel?" And he basically tells the maid to tell the higher ups that he will kill both. Well, he said he would kill Sukuna Vessel, but in his head, he's really wanting to kill them both. He's gonna kill Itadori and Fujigoro. So he basically explained that Tokyo has become a realm of demons. It doesn't matter how people die. I'll figure that out later. So we got Then the next thing we got Yuki. I don't know if that's a flashback or whatever. She's talking on the phone with somebody. She's like, "Sorry for not acting sooner," and she's basically telling whoever she's talking to that I'm not picking sides. I'm just a free spirit, and I just want to do away with curses. So she's just like a hero for fun. She's not picking sides, I guess. Then the next page, you get to see our sad ass MC. He's just sitting in the corner by himself, which is pretty sad. Then Choso just comes out of nowhere, just asking about his injuries and all that stuff. And basically, Chocho tells Yuji that he's gonna go look for his brothers, that he can return Jujutsu High, but Yuji noticed that Sukuna is plotting something with Fushiguro, and besides, he killed too many people. And I like the fact that they actually went this route, where the main character actually did it. Like, I've seen this trope so many times where the main character's friend, that he has this demon inside of him, or one of his sisters, like Tenjiro's sister, they have a demon, but they never follow through. Like, you're actually killing someone and seeing how people react. Like, because basically, when someone wants to kill like someone like a Sukuna Vessel or someone like Tanjiro's sister, it'd be interesting if she actually killed him, and the promise was to kill her or kill them. And it'll be an interesting storytelling. So I'm actually surprised that they went this route, because usually they just try bullshit and they never actually make him like kill someone or at least a lot. In this series, a lot of people died, but like killed people, a shit ton of people. So I'm actually happy about this. And he basically said, I can't no longer stay with everybody. And at the end of the chapter, you just see Choso, Yuji, Naomi, and Yuta. Moving on, chapter 139, you see Yuji clap. He's basically running throughout the city. He get them to. It's a cool ass run scene. He gets them underneath a bridge. Is it a bridge or whatever? You see Choso piercing blood, killing a bunch of them because they're all like on the line, so it's easy. And you see Yuji pop one of the curse spirits into the wall, and you can see he's getting stronger. So even Choso acknowledged this. He's like, he's not even he all heal up, and he's adding a little finesse to it. He's getting a little sauce in this game. He didn't say that, but you know what I mean. And Choso start calling him a demon god for some reason. And there's an interesting scene where, because he keep calling Yuji little brother, and Yuji's like, stop calling me that shit, that's weird. But he does say that, didn't your father have stitching on the forehead? But the way Yuji looked at him, it's like it was like a true statement or something. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. Next thing you see is Naoel, and you finally get his whole fit. And I love the fit. Like I'm telling you, he gives me Toji vibes. Other than the fact that he don't really like respect women, but just from the energy he's giving off. So he basically said, I don't see Magimi Fushiguro. Basically, I'm the first one here. Basically saying you're too slow. He's like, how's he so slow? I'm here first. He looks at Yuji. He's like, why aren't you running? Because you do realize your fucking execution is back on now, right? And then Yuji asked him like, yo, what do you want with Fushiguro? And now it's like, man, I want him to die, but I need him to write a little something for me first. And then you just see now pops in between both of them and whack Yuji in the face. I'm like, damn, this nigga got hands. I'm telling you, he's a Toji for me. Well, obviously Toji's a buff, but I mean, like, I feel like he needs a weapon. Hopefully he does get one in the future. Then you see Choso defends himself when they both try to punch him, and then he disappeared. So they both acknowledge that he's fast, and Choso believes it's a curse technique. And I'll be honest, I think it's not a curse technique. I think actually, let me rephrase that. I don't think that's the main ability. Like it does make him fast, but I think it's gonna be something more than that. I don't know what it is, but hopefully the review did show this in the next chapter, 141. So he basically said, now as I try to open my speed, but all three of them start feeling some weird ass energy, and then usually like Gojo, nah, something creepy. And then we get to see our MC again. I'm telling you, bro, this is so hype. And Yuta is like, you're not alone, and that's how the chapter ends. That's pretty tight. 140, we get cover on Yuta with a sword drawn, and it's basically called execution. And Yuji asks, who are you? And then Yuta just jumps from wherever he was all the way down and he breaks like a whole sidewalk, which is pretty dope. And he said, who's with Itadori? Because it's like three niggas with him. He's like, who's with this nigga? Who do I have to give smoke to? And Choso's like, so you're Yuji executioner. So you can see Choso have combat experience. He have that knowledge where he can deduce the situation, because you see a bunch of question marks on top of Yuji, so he's still kind of confused. He's still in the spirits. So that's how I see it. And you see now say, wait just a second. He basically said, hey, I'm on your side. Yo, Koso, right? And then Yuji start having flashbacks. Well, not flashback, but he started having thoughts about when Fushiguro mentioned Okoso, that he's a special grade and all that stuff. Um, you, Yuta asked him, "No, who are you?" And he's like, I'm Mikey cousin. I'm Naoa's Jenny. I'm also here to kill Yuji. I won't interfere, but in return, he basically said, but in return, can you not tell your higher ups that he's dead because I need him for something? And then the whole time Joseph's just telling him, man, we gotta run. We can't handle this shit. And then we also find, I guess Naoa is a blonde. I guess. I thought he had white hair, but alright, I'm fine with blonde. And anyways, so they basically this whole time he's just telling him that we gotta run away. You can't fight. You can't fight Yuta because he's a Gojo. We will lose. So after Yuta is like, very well, I'll leave the other to you. After that, we get a cool ass scene where you can see Choso trying to clap his hands. You see Naoa smiling, and it kind of looks like he's going fast because he's a speedster. But his hair is like kind of going up. His whole features is going up. You see Yuji turning to run, and you see Yuta running for Yuji, and then I can't wait for that to get animated. That's amazing. And Yuji's like, damn, he's fast. He's even though he has a sword. And then you just see next thing you just see fucking Naomi crack Choso. Like, this shit funny. And basically after you crack him, he's just basically shit talking. He was like, blood manipulation is not that serious because the only dangerous attack that he thinks Choso has is that piercing blood, but that takes a little bit of time. Well, to him because he's a fast character. And he basically tell him, do I really have to explain? This is checkmate, so now you die. But Choso's like, nah, I'm warning you. You think you can fuck with my brother and I let that shit go? Nah, I'm not doing that shit. We're gonna have to run to once. Which I kind of feels, I don't know. I know he's a special grade, but I think he's gonna get folded and just run away and just get a puppy. Because you gotta think about this. Naoa don't really care about anybody there but Mogimi. So he won't care about Choso. He care about Yuji because he wants to get to Fushiguro, basically. So next scene we see Yuta chasing Yuji. Yuji jump over this car, and Yuta go around the corner with the sword trying to cut him, but a resident parkour dude grabs the window and jump on back to the other side. So Yuta's like, damn, I thought I sliced the dude. You're like, Mikey. And then you see Yuji punch the car to Yuta. And he noticed that he can't get away in the open space, so he tries to run into a building. But you see a car flying over his head, blocking the entrance that he was trying to go to. And then this next whole page is just Yuta explaining that I look like a weakling, but it's basically explaining that he's using cursed energy. Everybody does it, but he does it better than most. He also tells Yuji that he has more cursed energy than Gojo, but Gojo, because Gojo has the 6 eyes, it's basically like recycling his power, so he's never losing power, so he can always spam attacks and stuff. And so after that, he said, I'm done talking, now to start fighting. And Yuji start having flashbacks about how average person sorcerer fight and how elite sorcerer. Average person, you can see the energy just focus on his right, but elite, it's kind of hard to see because he's kind of using throughout his body until he focuses at one point to punch you or kick you or whatever. But the difference is that Yuta has so much cursed energy that it's kind of hard to tell where he focused the most cursed energy at. So basically, you just see usually thinking about a conversation you have with Nanami, and it said you got it from here. I believe this is when he died. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at the end he said, "Sorry, but I can't just die yet," and that's how the chapter ends. I'm excited for the next chapter, and can't wait. Like I said, I wanted to do this manga, even though I'm doing my main focus on this channel is webtoons. So hopefully you guys like it. If you guys can recommend anything I can do better with the channel, do it. So, and have a nice day.